beautiful stars, reading time. All right, let's see what you beautiful angels are going through today. Main collective. I just noticed my little lightning is hanging out of my charm bowl. Be something coming in. Hold on. Main collective. One more. Okay. So we've got a collective that's been activated. So you've gone through some form of spiritual awakening, self-discovery, inspiration. You could be finding inspiration from your environment right now, but you're definitely focusing on some form of serenity within, faith, spirit, harmony, peace, belief, hope, love. You're trying to trust in certain things. These three here, it's nice that this collective is turning to whatever it is you turn to feel more centered, but you do have a little bit of activated armor around you right now. So karmic energy, I see this as our shadow in life. Unfortunately, when some emotion comes over us that we know doesn't serve us, but that we are trying to heal and really, I don't want to say remove, but try different approaches when it comes to certain reactions or decisions in our life. But to have highs, lows, turbulent, chasing energy with divine masculine and energy plus this Kundalini awakening, this collective, you clearly feel that you are in some form of divine connection, but just having these two here, I just don't think it's going the way that you've envisioned or hoped for. But if you have a sense of urgency around you right now to physically chase, even if it's just communication, or even if it's energetically, you're finding it really hard to get this person off your mind, the right collective, you're not silly. You're trying to turn to things again to try and center this emotion. Even though there's a temptation, I can't see this collective. With these here, I really think you're trying another approach. So if you have just reached out, or if you have just sent a message, or this isn't for you, I think this collective, you're fighting the temptation to do that. And also, I always say we have that strength of that masculine yang within as well. Maybe you are trying to really focus on your strength, and I'm hearing this, I'm going to say it, this collective, you could be getting a lot of divine masculine synchronicities right now. So your person's name or certain memories, certain songs, they're karmic, a lot of masculine signs who your brain, so your brain has clearly allocated a face to divine masculine signs. I always say, if you're getting bombarded with signs of the person you've allocated to divine masculine, there's something in your life that is calling for your masculine strength. So your willpower, your mental discipline, your action in life, just your success in life. And I'm hearing that specifically for this collective. So you could be getting a lot of signs which is activating this and the energetical chasing. And I will break everything down, but I'm hearing that for a reason. Maybe there's certain things that you know you need to start putting more focus and mental discipline with. You need to strengthen certain things. You really need to lock in to whatever your path is in life when it comes to your pinnacle environment. But let's confirm these. Okay, so you're awakening, and I find this happens a lot in the twin flame divine journey. You could have started to awaken unfortunately through axe kind of separation, silent treatment, abandonment. You could have really felt ghosted here. Maybe you're one of my collectives, you were planning so much, and then all of a sudden your perspective, kind of as quick as it started, as quick as these promises were being made, this person kind of disappeared. It's an important detail because I think the right collective, you really believe that your divine activation, your spiritual awakening came from your separation with your person. Okay. Don't make a fit. You inspire me. Blueprint, that's beautiful. Fate. So you are turning to up above. Very nice. Wow. This is really good. We've got some, oh my god, and then it stopped. Hold on, everything's sticking to me, but I was saying my little obsidian got knocked with that. Maybe that's how your awakening felt, like you were being thrown all over the place. But you've also going through another form of activation right now. I always say we don't just activate once. Me personally, my opinion, it's 7 ascensions you get crowned. Next 7, you're just constantly ascending and rebirthing and ripping through layers of that karmic energy, that trauma that has held you back from a very young age. So maybe right now, especially if it's been hard for you the past couple days, you could be thinking you're going through another form of activation. Or maybe people, because this is underneath you, inspire me. So I don't just think it's, you know, spirit and the universe, but maybe through certain teachings or certain mentors or certain information, your mind, your universal truth is evolving as well. And I always say, true spiritualist, you're forever evolving and changing. You don't just have one outlook. And if you do, that's a little bit concerning. But there's something here through inspiration. You feel your soul is more and more, which is great. And that would make sense why you've got this in probably deep reflection right now. Karmic energy. I love it. You really are our deviation. So your attachments, your codependence, your anxiety, your fears, you really are in reflection. You could, I think this is more you're keeping a really, I don't want to say firm, you're keeping a firm eye on you and your reactions and your lessons and your temperament change. But as well, just side note, more surface level, you could think you've got either this person or let's say actual karmic attachments from them looking in on you and looking in on your socials. Details here. Again, this is the right collective's focus. So everything I'm saying, you've had little moments of feeling exactly what I'm saying. I always say for readings for you, your mind should take you to places. So you probably, just before you started watching this or last night as you were going to sleep this morning, you felt like, holy moly, is someone accessing me right now? Or maybe someone's popped up on your socials from kind of this person's circle or that time period as well, I'm hearing. Okay. Look at this is really good. So chasing energy, you know this needs to clear. So this is why you're so on top of your energy right now. And again, it might not be physical chasing, but the energetic chasing, you're really wanting to remove. You're trying to surrender and really believe and trust. If it's the right person, wrong time, it'll align when it's meant to. Me focusing on it and tunnel visioning and stressing and manifesting and listening to subliminals, it ain't going to help nothing. With the divines, it doesn't help anything. It's your healing that helps. So again, you've got a new perspective coming over you right now, which is really beautiful. And that really confirms that the right collective, you have fought the temptation and you've stayed strong. So even though you had that magnetic desire to reach out, you didn't. Be proud of yourself. That's good. I always talk about that magnetic desire. Sometimes people mistake it for intuition when you have this excessive feeling. And I find a lot of divines, deviation for a reason, especially towards the start of your journey. When you get this acceleration in emotion, sometimes you guys think something's going on. Are they okay? Have they gone through an accident, a tower? There's a reason I'm thinking so much. There's a reason I'm seeing so much signs. I have to reach out. I have to just make sure they're okay. But that's that. Remember, your clearing and healing, your abandonment, your codependence, this is with lack of validation, lack of answers. This is why we do this. We need to know. We need to feel validated. We need to understand. It's a control issue thing, right? So even, and it's hard because I always say what your brain tells you to be real, you believe, but that's where you guys can mistake. You think it's your intuition. No, it's temptation, especially if you're healing this stuff and you know you need to heal this stuff. There's a reason I just deviated with that. I want one more for that. It's funny because I'm saying that confirms this collective didn't, but now seeing this, maybe for some of you, you did reach out and you felt rejected, or as well, you're reflecting on maybe how many times you have reached out and felt rejected here. Which gives you strength to not, but that's a little borderline, maybe not the best, because it's more a fear of rejection. Instead of really understanding by you standing strong, it's actually healing you. What I mean by that, I actually feel there's a difference between understanding I'm not doing this because I know I need to heal this, to I'm not doing this because I'm afraid I'm going to get rejected again. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Hopefully that makes sense. So, because if it's coming from a place of this, it's a pride ego thing. Okay, so if the thought pattern you're thinking when you stop yourself is, I'm not going to do it because I'm scared they're not going to answer, or da-da-da, just try and have a different perspective there. Right, collective, you'll get what I'm saying. It's making sense in my mind. Okay. You know, I always say this is a good pairing, because I always say when a divine masculine is not in wounded energy, they lock in, they create movement, not just with you, in all areas of their life, right? So remember that deviation about you guys. You might be getting a lot of signs and synchronicities as well right now about them. It's about you creating movement too. Surface level, do you have hopes that they're going to do this? Yes, but you're not silly, you know. Until they lock in, what's kind of the point? Okay, one more for that. That's good. So you hope they're going through a dark night of the soul, but you know that they need to go through the layers, the awakening, just like you. I'm not going to say you hope they're going through a dark night. These are so confronting. But you know, until they of their shadow, it's always going to end up the same. So this makes me think when you do have this temptation, you probably have a better perspective than, oh, I'm just not going to do it because they're going to reject me. I really think you try and find strength in, until this person evolves. Again, what's the point? But you could really feel right now, because everything we say is for a reason. If you've had a lot of pull or focus on their energy, you could actually think that they're going through some form of ascension right now themselves. All right, let's get one overall. Oh. I'm going to be honest. I think this is good. I don't think you fight. I actually think this collective, you have a lot of belief. Do you have moments of uncertainty? Yes, but a lot of this is you reflecting on how you're approaching emotion. So I think this collective, you're trying to come into surrender. You're trying to really stay firm in this, right person, wrong time, trying to sit in your activation. You're trying to discover more about yourself. This masculine energy, yes, surface level, I do think you think about them, but I think you understand there's a deep reflection on your yang strength right now and what you need to work on, which is making me feel you could have been on this journey for a while, because you all go through phases, and that obsession phase can last for so long until you start allocating your signs, until you really believe what this was all for. And I feel this collective, you've transitioned out of that obsessive phase. Do you still have falling back into your old belief system about it, and the obsession comes up now and then? Yeah, but probably not obsession. It could just be kind of a thought that can, consume you a little bit for the day, but the next day it's okay. I'm not feeling that this is just your main focus anymore, okay? And anyone that's been on this journey for a long time, you'll know exactly what I mean. When you first go through this, they're on your bloody mind all day, every day, all signs of everything's them. It's a phase you guys have to go through. Because again, at the start of the phase, you're so bound to your feminine energy. The universe is wanting you to lock into your masculine energy, your birthright, your mission work, your healing work, your mental discipline. But again, until you allocate your signs, it can be confusing. Just quickly, before we I just want to get tarot for you guys quickly. I'm being called to get tarot. I just want to see your perspective, because I'm just feeling more of a center here. I just want to see your perspective on your okay, what's your perspective right now? What are you actually going through? Actually, I don't even want to get what your perspective, hold on. I just want to see what your energy is actually sitting in, because what's going on for you guys? Okay. All right, so we've got 6 of Cups, upright. 4 of, this is good. It's kind of lining up with that. 4 of Swords, Magician. 7 of Cups, that's where a bit of the old belief system would trickle in. Perfect. 4 of Cups in reverse. These two are together. So, the apology, and it's in Hanged Man right now. But again, it kind of lines in with that evolving to masculine strength. I always say he's got a little bit of clouded judgment. He's a little bit naive when it comes to love, especially love offers. Be kind of a little bit of a fish out of water. Okay, this is a big top row. So, first card, you definitely do think this is a past life soul connection, right? 6 of Cups is beautiful. It's very tender, sweet, innocent. But I've also allocated it as childhood trauma. And that really makes sense with your reflection on your own inner triggers right now, right? So when you're feeling that, you're going into 4 of Swords. You're choosing silence, which confirms that first part. You're choosing to go within. I always say, to truly heal things, we need to reconcile the past. So you might not be, maybe for a long time, you were one of my collectives, you really thought to reconcile the past of this, you needed the closure. This right collective, you've got ghosted, right? But I think you're starting to realize you give yourself your own answers. You're really retreating from emotion that can keep you really bound to that karmic highs and lows turbulence within. I always say that 4 of Swords, 3 of Swords I see as heartache, 4 of Swords I see as mind ache. But I always say when those 3 swords raise over the mind, it's like he's got this Ace of Swords underneath him and it goes up his behind and you start charging, right? So you are going through a little bit of mental sifting right now of emotion, but I think you're doing it in a beautiful way. You know the power of your energy. You've come out as the magician, right? One, yes, you could be seeing this as a manifestation. We had that deviation about manifestation, subliminals, blah. But I always say, a lot of people say he's the manipulator. I see him as the manipulator of universal energy, the power of the mind. What we believe, we create. This collective, there's a reason I'm saying this. You are focusing so much on clearing out your thought pattern. You're trying to sit in the right truth for you. You're trying to not listen to others because you know that creates confusion. Seven of Cups is hard. Sometimes I see that as kind of a limerence kind of energy. We think we're Delulu. Are we in wishfulness? Are we in this? It creates a lot of confusion. We're focusing on way too many cups, right? Which what? Is really bad for our thought pattern. It's really hard this day and age with social media because everyone's got their own opinions. Everyone's got their own truths. Everyone's got this. And if you're in a down state, I always say what your brain is focusing on, it will naturally try and get answers to validate it, to make it feel right. So if you're in a negative mind frame, especially about your journey, or you feel towers are coming, or you feel this, do you know what you're going to constantly find? Especially on social media, negativity, things to confirm it, right? I always tell you guys, when you're in a bit of a down state, the last thing you want to do is be on social media. You want to sit in center, you want to go within, right? No stronger connection than your divine. Pray, sit in stillness, sit out in nature, whatever the case. This collective, again, there's a reason I'm saying this. I think you're really trying to stay in belief. You're not wanting to focus on this, that, and the other. You know what it does to you, right? Maybe as you're watching this, you're sitting a little bit more in this, and this message is finding you literally for that advice. If you're wanting to strengthen this, and if you're wanting to sit in stillness and belief, and it shouldn't matter what anyone says or their opinions. That's you, right? But this collective, there's something about your magician strength within that you're really trying to bring into alignment. You're starting to really understand the power of thought, which is beautiful. Is there still confusion? Yes. But then this card, perfect. You're trying to, maybe you have really been focusing on gratitude, or maybe you need to, waking up every morning, the first 10 minutes of your morning, giving gratitude to the things you have, or those moments you're feeling a little bit unclear, wishfulness, confusion, turn to gratitude, turn to source, right? This is a card of really seizing the day, re-engaging with your environment, your mind in the right way, okay? Switching your focus from negativity to positivity, not falling back into the society's expectation and belief and thinking you being positive makes you delusional. Like, if you're really a divine, I always say you're 5% of this population. You're meant to think differently. You're not meant to be conformed by that silly outlook. You're meant to teach people to not be conformed by that silly outlook, right? You're meant to teach people this energy within themselves. How can you teach this if you are not this, right? But there's still a part of you. Hanged Man's beautiful. It's not there. I always say it takes self-sacrifice, self-reflection. When we get to the state we need to get to, that'll drop, that'll come in with an aha moment, an epiphany. It'll arrive. So I'm hearing a couple things. One, especially with this Seven of Cups, you could still be coming in and out of, am I crazy? Do I have bad judgment here? Am I a little bit naive with this, right? No, you're not. Remember the power of thought, right? For this collective, watch from the beginning. I'm going to say this. I've said it a couple times on here. If you truly believe you're in a divine connection, there is not anyone that can tell you that you're not. And you shouldn't let anyone tell you that you are not. if you truly believe that within your soul, even if the things you hear do not align with the journey and this and that and that, what you believe you create. Even say this in personals. If I don't see someone's threads and I have someone literally telling me black and blue, no, but they're my divine, I say, well, that's your belief and you need to believe that. Just because I cannot see it, it doesn't mean your belief is wrong. This is what creates tricks on our mind, right? Us being swayed by others. What you believe for the 100th time, you will create. You focus on negativity, you're going to sit in negativity. You focus on separation, you're going to sit in separation. You focus on union, you focus on uniting, you will come into union and you will unite. You lock in on your path, you lock in on success, you lock in on abundance, you will create that. You lock in willpower and dedication to create X, Y, and Z, you will create it. But if you're trying to lock into something, but then you let confusion, society's gibberish overrun your power, it's what you're going to keep sitting in, a confused state, an in and out state. We talk about this nearly every day. When I see the 50-50, I always say you need to make a decision. It doesn't matter what anyone says. That's your decision, right? Just focus on you. Focus on your masculine strength right now and the things your intuition is trying to make you take inspired action with. Deep down in your soul, let's go back to this first part, right? This masculine dark night of the soul. Deep down in your soul, you know a Page of Cups is not going to work here. This needs evolution. You want alignment, right? Because you are finding your greatness. You are finding your strength. Do you want this? Of course you want this. But you're starting to see yourself, understand yourself, and value yourself. You don't have anger here. You just want evolution. And that's beautiful. You've come out of my collective just always praying for community. I just want a message. I just want a message. You've now turned to, no, I want to unite when it's time. I don't need the message. I don't need the communication. If this is meant to be, if this is the right person, wrong time, I want them to evolve in their greatness and I'll be patient. Okay, don't make it fit. You're starting to put this powerful strength into you. And it makes sense with that first part. When the chasing energy comes up, you're so focused on shifting it. And that's your first step. I say self-awareness is the first step. You've noticed it within yourself. And that's beautiful. Small steps, big accomplishments. Is this going to be permanent right now? You're breaking a habit. So you might come in and out of this strength, and that is okay. Don't be too hard on yourself. Those moments you come in and out of your strength and you're falling back to your old thought pattern, 66 consecutive days to create a new thought pattern, a new habit. Focus on the gratitude. Focus on the things you're doing today or yesterday or whatever it is that are making you feel centered. Okay? I always say this with healing. It's not just all going to go away and you're going to be kumbaya. It's the same with this. This will come in and out. But you just get stronger and stronger every time. And that's how you break through your layers and you get to the next phase and the next phase. This is why the divine community is so beautiful. You all embody the same phases. Okay. Some people will stay in certain phases longer than others, and other people will move forward a little bit quicker. You know you have this within. All right. Don't be hard on yourself when they come up. They're meant to trigger you. They're meant to come up in your thought pattern so you can start changing your thought pattern. And one thing I need to say here for this collective, you've got this upright, so it's not when are they going to come back. You're seeing it in a very tender outlook. There's no negativity here. So you're breaking free from that. It's beautiful. You see them as a Page of Cups. You're not seeing them as the devil, or you're not seeing them as the like any broken kind of energy. It's actually beautiful. And look at that Lovers card just wanting to pop out here. It's not the Lovers in reverse, the trust issues, discord, imbalance. It's like, it's just, and for people watching that are in that outlook, sorry, I know I'm being a bit dramatic. And again, that's another phase, but I say it every time I'm seeing it. As humans, we are programmed to judge and be opinionated. This journey is to make us truly learn unconditional love, understanding and acceptance of all walks of life, to break free from that judgment that we're bound to. And it is the human, it's the brain's response when we don't have answers to put out negativity and blame. And it's just sad that people, especially that are activated, and I get it, phases, you can fall back into the negativity and the judgment. But anyway, look at that underneath the Six of Cups. Five of Wands in reverse. You want harmony. You do want the situation to resolve and find common ground again. But again, no negativity. This is where the biggest thing is. You just need to release it now and focus on you. All right, positive outlook. Now truly believe in your surrender. Okay. And I will say this, because it's such a big thing about your belief, your truth, your reality. If this is what you want to focus on, manifest, as long as it stays in permanence and it's a true belief. It's not believing this for one day and then getting angry the next day. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Because it's still, right now you're trying to get out of that separation energy. I can see it. It's nice. But this is why I say don't focus on them. Just focus on you. Just focus on you. Every time they come up, focus on you, your internal union. If you truly believe you are one divine pairing, you focusing on you, you are one, right? The more you strengthen you, the more you pray and send yourself strength, the more you manifest for you. You're doing the same for them anyway. Don't put a face on it. If you truly believe in your, and this is why I tell you guys, side note, you believe you're in a divine pairing, right? Just take the face away from it. Affirm you're a divine counterpart. I'm a divine being. So I know I have a divine counterpart. The face is what really can set you guys in this in and out, right? You're a divine being. Look, you've activated, you're awakening, you do it. Watch from the beginning. What makes you think you don't have a divine counterpart? Who cares if it's them or someone else? It will come when it's time. Okay, so I'm more seeing this as the internal. You could be reflecting on the towers here, the destruction, the ghosting that was there. But you've got the Four of Swords over it. So you're healing from it. We cannot reconcile the past if you don't walk through the fire, right? But you're choosing silence. You're not falling into the temptation. You're going within. Okay. And can I tell you something? You're going within, and look at the outlook you have here. The only thing that's a bit concerning is probably, and actually I don't even think that's concerning, because I think that's more, this needs to evolve. That's probably the one thing. So much strength, but then the Seven of Cups comes over you because maybe you are focusing on too much or too much external, right? But my angels, like, what's around this? This is beautiful. And even when you get into the Seven of Cups, Four of Cups in reverse, you're trying to pull yourself out of it. Very self-aware. You were reminding me of the introverted intuitive. You don't miss a beat. You would see everything. That's why you're so observant of your own soul, your own lessons, your own reactions. You're a seeker. Powerful mind. So, and deep down you know you have a powerful mind. That's why your mind and your thought pattern really matters. Okay, the back and forth. That's where we need, everything we say is for a reason. I know this is about more balancing your pentacle path, but just the theme of this, it's the back and forth, right, in the mind. So those moments you're back and you just need to choose a path and not let other people's advice, because that's where it's clearly coming from, make you feel crazy. 5% pioneer's mind, right? Trust yourself, trust your connection. But also, just side note, because willpower is a big thing that you're working on, part 1, and magician is also about willpower, mental discipline. So there could be some things in your work path that you know you need to focus on a little bit more, okay? A little bit more dedication, because that was in this part, okay? Or it could be the opposite. Maybe you're all work, no play right now. Maybe you're lacking a little bit of balance in your life. I'm actually hearing a few things for that. Take that how it fits for you. Maybe a lesson for you as well, part of your karmic energy, especially if you're one of my collectives. I'm seeing my lone wolf in my mind. When you go through these moments of reflection, and people that are true alchemists, transmuters, the way you feel energy, you tend to be recluses. I get it. I know you guys go through the spiritual isolation, but I find true spiritualists, it's kind of your whole life. You feel kind of isolated, okay? Black sheep of the family, estranged from your family, very hard time to maintain friendships. Maybe you're lucky to have one childhood friend, 2 childhood friends that are still around you, if that. Later on in life, making friendships, they normally come and go. You're just kind of recluses because you're constantly accessing people's energy, if you know it or not, especially if you were dormant and you didn't even understand you were accessing people's energy. We say we're all born with our gifts, some more than others, but if you had parents that couldn't nurture and see that in you, when your shadow starts to build at 3 and 4, this is when you start to close off your magic with your trauma, right? Your shadow, the first part, the highs and lows, karmic energy, blah, blah, blah. So when your gifts haven't been nurtured, and this is why I call the Kundalini a Kundaluni, because when you finally activate out of your dormant self, and those dormant abilities start to, it is so intense because it's been piling up your whole life, right? And this is why you guys can present manic and need to be admitted and put in the crazy basket, and because it's just this accumulated magic around that internal gem that's been hidden, right? So I find a lot of you, a big lesson through your activation, so long deviation, but it's important, is to bring balance in your life. And I talk about, when we activate, the importance of all kinds of love, being in love, understanding family love, understanding friendship love, pet love, children love, stranger love, understanding. And I know it's hard. I know some people don't have the opportunity to connect to family love and child love. I get it. But you need balance in your life. You need people you can turn to. So if it's unfortunate that you don't have that family connection, you need some form of soul tribe. Even if it's one person. You can't just let love into your life. And this is something through separation, divine separation, you guys need to understand. When we are in a connection and we do not have people to turn to, and I find a lot of divines that have this lesson to learn. One of you had friends, one of you didn't. And the one that didn't tried to cage the one that did, and the one that did started to adapt to the one that didn't, and kind of let friendships, family ships, all of that kind of slide, so they became caged. And it was to teach you guys that in a connection, and it might work short term, you being completely isolated, but long term commitment, without friendships, family ships, if it's possible for you to have family ships, without you having people to turn to, you're destined to have a very unstable, kind of destructive, up and down connection. You've put way too much pressure on this person to be your be all and end all, and you've done it not intentionally. I get it, but you need some people around you, right? Even if it's that one person you can call for a coffee, or, you know, especially in love, when you don't have anyone to turn to, something that should just be a challenge can be turned into a huge tower and a huge set of conflict, because you've got subconsciously, this person is the creator of your happiness. So as soon as they take your happiness away, you get this acceleration in you. For the right collective, this will make sense. If you are in that divine connection where we just gave that example, the universe is saying, it's great you're finding yourself. It's great you're locking in. It's great you're activating that divine magic through your soul. But you need balance too. Independence is beautiful. Hyper independence, not so much. This is why I tell you guys, through your separation, the universe will try and bring people in, but they show you the pattern of how you approach love. So you become too intense, too codependent on new friendships, or whatever your patterns are. Because I always say lessons come in all forms. They will show you with the people they're trying to align you with. There's a reason this is coming up for this collective. Or they give you that intuition inspired action to join a group, join a course, join a new gym, or join this. And if you keep pushing it back, you're missing someone you should be aligning with. They're trying to align you with a friend. They're trying to align you. The universe will only meet you halfway. But if you just reclused, and this is part of your soul contract to bring this connection back in together, it's something you should focus on. Okay, I'm actually going to get your soul contract here for this collective. That was a long deviation, so it was important. So if that just sounded like gibberish for you, not your reading, because that just came out of nowhere. All right. As we're saying it, maybe you are questioning some things around you financially, or some things with your boundaries, why you think you can't why you're not learning this, that, and the other. Right? You are. Small steps, big accomplishments. Watch the whole thing. But maybe as well, sometimes you question your potential on your path. Another thing I'm hearing, more surface level, you could have someone's intention that you're questioning. Remember, you got the spying and the karmic energy. That could be an earth sign, could even be more of a motherly figure. I find she can be a little bit motherly, but in a beautiful way, not an overbearing way. But you've got she is very sophisticated and elegant. She's probably the most elegant and sophisticated out of all the queens, right? Why do I feel sometimes you don't see yourself? Why do I feel sometimes you just don't understand how amazing and beautiful you truly are, and how graceful you are? I'm hearing it. You could have some body dysmorphia, some face dysmorphia. You could just be really hard on yourself. And again, strengthen your mind. Your mirror work. Affirm yourself. How beautiful you are. How graceful you are. How savvy you are with your business. I always say mirror work is so important, especially for people that don't see themselves. And you watch. After you've affirmed yourself for a couple of days, you start to, it's like you shapeshift. Truly, you will be like, holy moly, I'm this. I'm like, you see it. Because again, remember that reading we talked about, the positive affirmations, speaking things into the rice, and then that video with that word and what you focused on, you heard. it's the same with the power of this. You truly do create your reality. Speak your greatness into existence. Oh, of course. You're changing your belief system and your program. Okay, I'm hearing a few things. When we're going within, you're strengthening your Hierophant. He is top of the pack, right? And you could be a witchy poo. He's my ritualist. But you're confronting certain old thought patterns with gratitude, harmonizing, re-engaging with positivity. But then with this, I do think, because I've allocated that as my divine pairing, the High Priestess, High Hierophant, the spiritual realms. You're trying to stay positive and seize the day in gratitude. And it makes sense with this. Remember the deviation. I don't want this. I want this. So remember how we said just take the face away from it. Truly believe if you were this, your counterpart is out there. Whoever it may be. Just take the face away from it. It's really, I find sometimes when I say that to you guys, it can really upset you guys because you want it so bad to be that face, right? But the thing is, remember, we say love is love. When you're in a karmic connection, any connection, when you're in love, right? And maybe look at it this way. And I'm not saying it to upset you. And I'm not saying the person that is there isn't your person. But just remember the pain you had to go through, right? But you still love this person to your core. But imagine your true spiritual equal being in your life. Do you not think, like the person cut from your same cloth, your true soul's equal, your true Two of Cups, do you not think the love you would feel for that person would just be like, oh, so who cares who it is? Just know you'll experience such a magical, ethereal, connected kind of love. Detach from the face. And again, I'm not saying the face isn't. I just want this collected because we've got to get you not so back and forth in the mind. So I'm just trying to give you a few tips here. All right, let's get one more for this. And then I want to see your soul contract. I want to see your acrotype and animal. And oh, look at the positivity here. I just love it. One, I think you're going through a creative acceleration in there's clearly something changing in your mind. Back to that activation, you inspire me, right? You're re-engaging. You're just finding flow again. There's an acceleration of flame within you. And let's go into this. Okay, surface level. There's still passion and chemistry. This is a kind of engagement and fertility and again, positive outlook towards this, but then you do stop yourself and you're like, but am I being naive? Am I being the Seven of Cups? It's not that, okay? You got to go back to that thought pattern. What is meant to be will always be, okay? You know in your first part, this needs some evolution, right? If you know the answers or not, you're surrendering to, I just put them to message to when it's time. It'll come through in such a powerful way, whoever it may be. I surrender my plan. I know you have the best plan for me. Okay? It's so sad because we sign all of this into our life. But I always say when we take our first breath here, spiritual amnesia. We don't remember a bloody thing, but for a reason. It's meant to be. It's a tough journey to get out of this place. That's why we're bound life after life after life. It's tough. Oh my God, look, we split that on that Two of Cups. And remember that deviation, your true equal. Okay, let's get into your soul contract. I want to see how this goes. I want to get animal cards and I want to get archetype cards for you. I want to see what angels are watching over you right now. Okay, so this was your soul contract energy. So the things that needed to be healed and ticked off in your time of soul evolution, your time of isolation. Stop it. To truly surrender and trust in destiny. To surrender to what is out of your hands, should be out of your mind and heart. To trust. Fate, karma cycles. Learn karmic cycles. Learn to be self-aware how our actions repeat in our life. 85% of the population don't even get to witness that and understand that. How the decisions we make create our environment. Power of mind, power of decisions. To trust in destiny, to trust in the force of the universe, to activate to the synchronicities of this world, which is one miracle in itself. To find your magic, I always say it's the biggest miracle I believe you can receive. To truly understand the world around us and why we really are here. It's out of your hands. To understand you'll get exactly what you deserve. Where there's bad karma, we're clearing. I always say there's beautiful karma too. You just accumulate it for you till you're truly ready to receive it. And it to not be removed like every other 2-year karmic cycle you guys experience before your activation. To understand you're a problem solver, that you can get yourself out of anything. To activate your entrepreneurial, is that how you say it? Skills, your birthright, your path, your emperor energy, build your empire, your creative mind, your creative flow. This is why every single person in this world is born, everyone's born with a creative's mind. We have our creator through us, right? We put our creator created. But people, I always say what you excelled at school, that's your birthright. But we get blocked off by society. We get blocked off by our surrounding. Oh, you can't do that. That's silly. That's this. Live our life through other people's lenses and not even know it. You're meant to break free from that. Number 17th of February could to activate your divine feminine sight, your oracle within, to find the connection to our mother moon, to find recognition in life, your true sensuality, which this collective, I think you're very hard on yourself, your artistic nature. Maybe art, like I'm actually seeing an easel and painting. Maybe that is something part of your path and you're not even doing it. Maybe you're meant to add that in some way. To break free from being bound to this. And you yourself would have had some fox behavior. I always say there's not one person in this world that's perfect. Maybe a bit of your stealth behavior, certain deceit, mistruths. Sometimes you could be a little bit sly or cunning or a little bit sharp. I feel that for you internally, but also externally. When things aren't right, to just fixate on what's this, what's that, what's this, what's that. I feel, especially if you had a lot of people like this in your life, I always say people are a reflection of what we need to change and adapt, right? To work on your whip energy, so your argumentative side. Maybe you were a little bit abusive at times and not even understanding it. Maybe you were a little bit emotionally manipulative through self-interest and not even understood it, especially if you've had a lot of trauma. And I'm not saying this to upset you, but for the right collective, these were the things you needed to heal. The way you would just snap. You would go through life over and over. The karmic cycle's repetitive. Last one. But to believe in the luck. So luck is on your side. You're destined to a great fortune. A huge reward. So that comes in first. Remember that. So if you haven't received your luck, your good fortune, your carefree approach in life, Salem's ringing her bell. She's part of it. Remember, time in isolation. That's big. Number 26, or 2nd of the 6th, 6th of the 2nd. 4-leaf clover. Could have just found one of them. Or a memory. the clover. Oh, to trust in the universe when things seem stuck and not tangible, the control issues. You were meant to become duty bound. Your path, solid, doubtful, dependable, but the things that weren't tangible, the things that were stuck, it was always out of your hands. You needed to surrender and just focus on you. Going within, not needing the attachment to external to make you feel happy. Yes, I said where there's bad karma, there's good, but they wait till you do not care. So when that comes, it's not just... You've got to remember, so many people in this world come into great fortune and they do not share it with others. They do not give it back to the world, or if they give it to charities, it's for a tax write-off, or it's for this or that, and people are blinded by money. Okay, it was to do something great when you weren't attached to it and you weren't going to blow it away in a selfish way. They want you home, so they're going to give you this reward when you do it right, so you're not bound to this place anymore. To activate your mystic nature, your dream state, your fantasy state, to make you understand how enchanting you are, your sensuality again, your compassion, diving deep into your healing, your intuition, your romance. But again, so you've always had this problem solving, asking questions, curiosity. You didn't realize, remember that deviation. You were always just a magical, powerful, energetical being, but you didn't know it about yourself. So you would have always had this focusing for everyone because you're reading energy. You were meant to understand the reason you've been like this your whole life. Your mind's up and down and this and that and thinking you're back, because you were always reading energy. You were always a mystic. I always say true spiritualists, believe it or not, we're like this. Very, very even keel. But because our whole life we think we've got this and that because we're always reading energy, we think we're a mess up here, right? When you guys start practicing your craft and you start relieving you realize straight after you're calm again. And this is why I tell you guys, whenever you're up and down like this, help your community and watch your temperament come into an even keel. You guys are the most centered beings in this place. But when you don't understand that about yourself, you're the most erratic. You're the most insufferable. You're the most temperamental. Because you've got people constantly, and they don't need to be in the same room. So this staying in isolation, that doesn't matter. If you're really an energy reader, you've got glowing threads connected to you that need you, right? Truly. That's why people online can read all around the world. Just because you think you're isolating to protect, you're a true energy reader. You're accessing people that need you. I always tell you guys, jump online, especially when you first activate, to just start understanding the power of your energy and the power of how much people need you, especially if you were born, your soul contracts to be this. You're here to help guide others. You're an oracle. You're a seer. Okay, especially this moon energy, to connect to our mother moon, high priestess, oracle within, your goddess energy. And you don't need to be a woman, okay? Break free from the mask. Show the world the real you. You were dormant. This is underneath the moon. You didn't even know this about yourself. Break free from your ego. Always hidden motives, this and that. You would always have been receptive to other people's masks and fox behavior because you embodied it yourself, and you poor thing, you didn't even know. It's so sad, and this is why I said there's not enough places in this world that teach parents to see the magic, and it's so sad because this is what happens. Powerful people like you don't understand themselves. Sad. To get through the you've had some excessive emotion, which means you had a tough upbringing. The tornado, get through things that are sudden and unexpected, which means you had to break free from abandonment, the fear of abandonment and codependent. You had to break free from it. But let's go surface level. Let's go surface level here. Part of your soul contract was to experience deceit, because you had to reflect on your own. You had to experience mask. You had to experience tornado from someone else to make you reflect on your own whip tornado, these energies, right? The reflection. We say even if you project it out 1%, you're going to get it in tenfold to make you self-aware. So when it was time for this, you wouldn't take love for granted. Which means you've taken love for granted before. You've been highly critical. Remember that deviation about, even though you only had that one person there where you be all and end all, you wouldn't treat them the best. How this collective, you don't have people around you, for the right collective. So that one person that you would allow in, that was your be all and end all in your mind, you would be critical. You'd be accusatory, you'd be claiming, you'd be jealous, right? This was something you needed to learn. So they wanted you to break free from this. So when it was time, you would appreciate love. You would appreciate that topping. You wouldn't look at it as a completion anymore. Oh, they're meant to complete me. No, you complete yourself. That's just happiness that they're providing you. So you appreciate them. You appreciate their temperament and their ups and downs and their faults. You don't take love for granted anymore. Because you know what a blessing it truly is to have someone that loves you unconditionally, faults and all. Proposal, engagement. It's part of your soul contract agreement. Promise, partnership, statement of intent, marriage and union. It's coming. But this is huge for you. So have you completely learnt that yet? You've got my most abruptive hidden emotion cards here. All right, whip. Oh, you alchemized. So overflowing abundance, from tears of sorrow to tears of joy. Release the old. Sitting in your fulfillment. So it was when you found your birthright, your path, that would have helped you heal this. And clearly people reflecting this to you. To stop chasing after things, and that's your main focus right now. So you're learning this right now. Watch from the beginning. To stop chasing after things. To emotionally release things that make you feel this whip energy. Very nice. All right, this good luck, good fortune, reward. Whoa. It'll come when you least expect it. And it will definitely light up your life. A catalyst, igniting, getting things going. And you've got overflowing abundance here. There's something they're saying, though, a little bit more effort's required. So that deviation about the Two of Pentacles. One more for that. Oh, there's something with you remember we had the deviation about the magnetic desire, the temptation. So there's something with your work path. You fall short to a little bit here. And you've got to stop chasing after something. The gravitational pull, magnetic, field of influence, yearning. Hold on, I want one more. It stresses you out. Maybe you don't have belief in the success. Remember that Queen of Pentacles I deviated a lot with as well. This makes you stressed, anxiety, fear, nagging. Don't make it fit. This isn't making sense to me, this row. Unless, because this card, and I avoided saying it because it doesn't make sense to me. It's also about, so it says luck, happy coincidence, unexpected, like, you know what I'm saying? A fling. And I don't understand why it says it with that, because it says good fortune, carefree, reward. Like, it's such a weird card for me. So I was like, not with the theme of this. But now seeing this magnetic desire, maybe sometimes in the past you could use your body as seduction and temptation. You didn't understand your sacredness, so you would fall short to lust. I always say, this is why divines, you really find a path of celibacy to teach you the sacredness of not just your womb space, but of you, right? Anyone that can access that sacred magic, like, that's valuable. So maybe it was a lesson. Maybe you would, if you didn't completely see yourself, maybe you would align with section, like, I don't even want to say it. The right collective, you'll know what I'm trying to say. But you're moving forward. So steady movement forward, going the distance, on track. If you've chosen celibacy, you would have learnt that lesson already, right? So to not fall short to that. But I do think there's something about your great fortune that you do stress about that may have not arrived just yet, but you're moving forward. One more. This last row, whenever I get a lot, it's a mystery. Things will be lifted when it's time. Okay. All right, I just want to get you quickly. I just want to get you an animal card. Hold on. Okay. Oh my God. You got the black egg, but you got the elephant. The remover of obstacles. This elephant's unstoppable. So they give an obstacle to you, you overcome it. It's that strength of your mind, the way you see things, the way you problem solve, but also you are a creator of obstacles in other people's lives without you knowing. So you make people have to self-reflect. You inspire people and you wouldn't even know. You make people have to confront their darkness. And it's funny, your first part, you find inspiration. Watch from the beginning. Could just imagine how many people, and you wouldn't even know. Or maybe you do know, but maybe you don't understand how powerful of a quality that is. Your energy makes people self-reflect. You'd be highly valued if you let more people in. You don't let many people in this collective. That was the bat, how you've overcome your darkness. Oh, you got the sea serpent. Holy moly. So you've, again, confirming the Kundalini. I always say that serpent is meant to turn into your powerful dragon's blood within. I think it's more the evolution of your emotion that is really noticed right now. I think you evolve with every obstacle that's given to you. You just constantly evolve. I never read this sea serpent. I just see it as extremely beautiful and rare, but I'm going to read it to you guys. There's a reason I'm getting called to read it. Isn't it funny? And that's where I think sea serpent. Healing emotional wounds. Learning to express your true desires. That magician. And you are healing, especially part 1. The sea serpent represents the energy of expression, whether it's emotion, creativity, sensuality is a big one for you. I'm seeing my black cougar right now. Or desire, the sea serpent helps us to move and direct our energy into a healthy current. So you are moving forward in a healthy current right now. Especially those for this collective, you really are changing a mindset right now. Direct our energy. Yeah. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively, sexually, without fear or shame. And there was a big thing about that sexual energy too. I think it's more that dark feminine that resides within, the beautiful, powerful one, not the manipulative one. We know what we desire most. Our hearts are at ease and our relationships are meaningful and enduring. And that's what you want. We loosen the grip of self-judgment. So you're learning to be kinder to yourself. So when we said about affirming you, I think this collective, you'd already be doing it. Again, watch from the beginning. Anyway, it's about expression. It's about emotional evolution. It is about your mindset. It's about connecting to your true self, being proud of your true self. Maybe one of your obstacles really was self-love and self-expression. You got the mask, the fox, the this, the that. So it's probably always been hard for you to really Oh my God, you got the cobra. When the student is ready, the teacher, master, you're a master. You speak words but they're striking. And this is why your expression was so important. For you to really tap into you. Because you stop people in their tracks. For you to have the energy of the power to make people reflect with this, you got big things to achieve. I'm seeing my Six of... You know who I'm actually seeing in my mind? I'm seeing that Martin Luther King. You know how he's like, I just feel your... Like, there's a reason that name came to my mind. I've never heard that in a reading. You could really connect to him or his story, but just the way he captivated with the power of his words. Like, that's what I feel with that energy. Okay? Understand your greatness. This is why it was so important for you to truly activate to this and understand your power. I feel this cobra is greater than that vulture, and I find that vulture is powerful as well. Snakes could be important. You could have just found a shedded snake skin as well. And you're grounded and humble. It's nice. Lamb! Holy moly. So you've got this strikingness, but you've got a gentleness to you as well. That's what would make people be receptive, right? Holy moly. One more. It's your voice. It's your voice. We won't... Oh, we'll get them. You can weave a tapestry of magic to the world around. This is why it was so important. You had to learn to break. You didn't even know you had a mask. You didn't even know you... Well, you would have known you had a whip. You would have known you had a temper. You would have known a little bit about your fox behavior. Watch the whole thing, because this can present manipulative when not centered and authentic, right? You were meant to weave a tapestry of magic and connection into the world. And rainbow is the color of telepathic connection, especially to outer realms. You were meant to teach people this. Remember the magician, anyway, watch the whole thing. You could have a spider tattoo. And the mother, so, okay, hold on a second. These cards are going everywhere. This is so gentle and caring, and I see this as my Empress card, right? But you got the Queen of Pentacles, and in this deck she's depicted as that mother, right? And I remember I said it's like this, not motherly overbearing, but you've got a very anyway, again, watch from the beginning. So you've got this is why your voice is so important, and you truly seeing yourself. You're soft, you're gentle, you're caring, you're nurturing, you're understanding. You would be someone so accepting of all walks of life. If anything, the broken bird, you would have more empathy toward the underdog, right? Tenacity, rain, hail, or shine, you do not give up. With this behind you. So when you lock in that deviation, when you lock into something, create your reality, you can achieve it. And you know that about yourself. So that's why your energy is so impactful. People have seen you come from the darkness, that bat energy, and literally evolve your life through internal strength and independence, right? But you've got a gentleness, a beauty about you, a seductive glow. I'm seeing you as the black cougar. But then you've got the power of honesty, transparency, and a little bit of spice. You literally weave tapestry, not just of magic, not just in your own life, but in others. Oh my God, you've got the pairing, and you are a divine pairing. You've got the pairing, the elk and the deer. But then you've got the strength of the masculine behind you. You're shining balanced. Can I just tell the mother and the father? You're shining pretty balanced right now. These are the two in this animal deck that truly do not give. This camel could be even a little bit more persevering than this, because it stores the water in its humps. It can go for days, weeks, months without anything. Just moving forward. So again, when you're locked in, but you show people this, the power of motivation, right? The power of change and dedication, that things don't come easy. So that's part of your story. I'm hearing it now. You were never meant to be an overnight success. Remember, you're stressing about a certain reward. It makes you, this was part of your path. You were meant to teach people to not give up. You were meant to teach people. No, you keep going. When you're locked into that Ace of Pentacles, sometimes it can take years, decades to ground. But people that know in their core it's worth it, you don't give up. And then when it happens, it's a miracle. You feel like you've been touched from the heavens. So that means you would have people sitting front row to whatever you're meant to achieve. And they would have seen your journey, your tenacity, your perseverance. And that is also what has taught you your balance. Because you've constantly had to work on this. And you've constantly probably had to soothe yourself and your own emotion through this. You would have had so many moments of wanting to give up. You always pick yourself up. You always push yourself. You are my collective. The universe gives you an obstacle, you sneeze it down. And you say, what's next? Give me a bigger one. Like, but people witness this in you. And that is why you make people reflect and want better for themselves. It's powerful. But again, because people have witnessed you, have to drag yourself out of the darkness. People have had to witness your change, which means you have people in your life, and I'm going back to that spine card, right? You have people in your life that would have been doubters. You have people that watch you. If you've got people that have had to watch your bat's transformation, remember we had that deviation, true awakening. You guys, toot toot, loony basket. You would have had people like this, and through your perseverance and now coming into your balance, you make people believers. And they're the people, you, aka collective, that can break free the 85%. What your true divine mission is, to make people believers. You'd be able to activate people just through your words, which means you're very powerful. It normally comes from trauma. That awakening, it's very rare people can grant someone activation through teachings. Remember your greatness. Okay, that last part made me emotional. All right, I want to see what angels over you, and I've got to get your acrotite. This has become a self-reading, and this collective, you clearly needed a self-reading right now. Believe in yourself. Angel of hope and peace. Phanuel is the angel. 4 and 3. Masculine, feminine. I can't get over the deer and elk. Fights evil. Light wins. Powerful force. Breaking free. Confidence. That's why you need a self-reading. Be more confident. What's that Bruno song? You're amazing just the way you are. What's that one? When I see your face. That song, it's coming to my mind. Go listen to that song. There's not a thing that... It's coming through. Go listen to that song. Faith and trust. I ignite the power of hope in your heart to help you gain victory over... I don't even want to say evil. Without darkness, it's a balance. It's what helps us see the in-between. I actually think darkness is something so much more powerful because it helps us evolve. Light, happiness, this and that, it keeps us stuck. I hate that says evil. In order to establish peace in your life, tiger's eye, you could have just bought a tiger's eye. Timeless. This angel has never left your side. Never left your side. Has always tried to ignite this in you. And yes, big fat yes. One more. Divine angel of blessings. You are a blessing. You got Michael. Wow. He's our protector. If you've got Michael by your side, You're special. Well, everyone's special. Everyone's special, but you've got something big to achieve. One. I don't want to say top of the pack, but all of our angels are beautiful. He's powerful. The defender and protector of Earth. And that's what you're meant to do. You're a true Earth angel. It wouldn't surprise me if you're bound to him in a certain way. I believe we are all fallen angels, but I don't think the story of fallen angels is depicted right. I think they truly chose to come here to help humanity. I see this as our contentment. I think the angels that chose to leave is to help people break free. That's my belief. I don't want to trigger anyone. That's my belief. But you could have really been bound to him and chose to part ways to come and help here. Well, yes, he's up there in spirit, but he's always down here in spirit too. He's the revealer of truth, restores faith, reassurance, strength, courage, resolve. Call on me when you feel afraid, lonely, or in despair, or you're in need of courage and protection. Sapphire. You could wear a sapphire. You could have been tempted to wear a sapphire, especially if you truly are connected. Sunday and trust, or a purple stone. Not amethyst. Amethyst is too common. I just heard that specifically, so don't make it fit. Like that came, I literally heard it specifically. Maybe someone went to amethyst. Very nice. Okay, let's get you an archetype energy you're in now and what it's evolving you into. Oh, that one did want to come out. Can't even say that word. Who are you right now? The shaman. Doesn't surprise me. What's this energy evolving you into? I'll read them for you. Look at the serpent and that diamond there as well. You yourself through the endings of pain for the 3 skulls. And that, for some reason, those 3 skulls were reminding me of our Mother Crone, our triple moon goddess. Oh my God, and the mist, holy moly, yesterday we got the mystic and the mentor, so you're, I feel you would embody this if you are the shaman, but your sight is being activated more and more through what you're going through. The shaman, this collective should be proud of yourself. There's that, was that the, oh no, that was the 2. Hold on, let me find these. Okay, the shaman, the magi, the witchy poo, the sorcerer, the medicine woman / man. 3 archetypal ingredients constitute the shaman, and all must be present in order to reveal its magic. And this is what you are right now in this energy. Holy moly. First, the shaman is activated by long-standing and diligent study. Don't make it fit. And you have been evolving. And your first part, you're evolving more and more. Your mind is forever changing. The mentor, oh no, you got the mystic. Second is the orientation. Its orientation is generously and accurately aimed towards the healing of self, truth, especially this collective right now, the other and the culture, the healer. And third, the shaman has a knack for finding doorways to the other world, allowing psychic visions and old magic to leak into this world of the unseen. And your power and your strength of this, and I said you activate people with just your words. It wouldn't surprise me, because you are this. So if you already are so strong in your mystic abilities, look at what you are activating sight that not many people have. So you would resonate with having all four clairs, but that's strengthening within you. In this way, the shaman is a master who bridges the everyday and the sacred. And I said that you are the introverted intuitive. You don't miss anything. You see everything. And that is why you're healing. There's so much self-reflection, and you're always looking within, which is very rare. It's very rare, even for people that are healing. You don't miss anything. Where are we up to? Bridges the everyday and the sacred, revealing potent power needed desperately in our time. And we've brought that up so much for 85%, 10%, 5%, but it's the truth. And like I said before with that Archangel Michael card, it's that I truly believe people that have been divinely activated, so activated from divine energy, divine beings, my belief, we were fallen angels, here to truly help humanity. I just think, anyway, where are we up to? So the shaman must be vigilant in studying their darkness, which you forever do. This card reminds us that the force of healing is ultimately not our own. We must shape it and share it with the world. So we've had to go through so much. But when you're in light, you're a fearless student and practitioner. But when you're in dark, you blame. You hurt yourself and others. Oh my God, the Black Elk, and you got the elk. Go deeper, read The Black Elk Speaks and Michael Tucker's Dreaming with Eyes Open. Maybe you need to read them, or maybe you have read them. And then your mystic nature. You already embody this, but let's read it. This is what this is activating more in you. The seeker, the light worker, the dreamer. The mystic is often misunderstood in our culture, depicted as a wandering or light-hearted daydreamer. Yet, like Shiva, the true mystic plays a critical role in society, remaining fearlessly dedicated to the path of transformation in order to save the earth from darkness. This came out yesterday. That's such a good pairing. Shiva swallows the poison of the world and holds it to it, and you do that. But this collective, you are no longer pushing your pain away, you're embracing it. And I always say you cannot teach others unless you have walked the path, otherwise you're just an imposter. It's where imposter syndrome comes from. You help so many because you've walked through it. And remember I said this collective. Remember when we deviated and I said, oh, I hate that evil. I said the darkness is actually more powerful than the light because it's what evolves us. This collective, you would have the same belief. You would understand that because you understand that's what has evolved you. And that is why you got the whip, the mask, the fox, that you've had to overcome so much because you've constantly been walking in darkness your whole life, but you're not ashamed of it because it's made you who you are. And now you can teach others how to overcome it. You welcome the poison because the poison strengthens you and it strengthens your sight and connection. You use this eye, not these eyes. You use the eye that matters. I know that's a butterfly, but I'm seeing moths. Moths could be a symbol for you. I'm actually seeing a moth landing in one of your flames, sacrificing itself. Especially if you're a shaman, you would do rituals, you would do things like that. You definitely work with flames. So that's a proper detail. It's like you've had a candle lit and a moth sacrificed itself. You would have seen it in the wax. Where are we up to? This is the work of the mystic. This is the work of the mystic. They do not fear darkness, rather sit in it. Sit in the presence of it. Harness the potential and latent energy behind it and embed it with light. You transmute it. You alchemize it to find the in-between. And this is why people have had to witness your journey, because you've overcome your darkness. You overcome your bad energy into who you are. And look, you're strengthening this. For you to be sitting in this right now, and what you're going through right now is truly turning you into this. Your belief system, your thought pattern, your tarot part is so important. Don't fall short to others. You are a mold breaker. You are a true pioneer. Your voice matters. Your serpent energy matters. You were never born to conform. And that is why you've had a life of isolation. I'm going back to the whole reading now. You were never meant to fit in. And you're still not meant to fit in. And you're meant to teach people to be proud of their individualistic soul. And can I tell you something? And I say this all the time. There is not one person in this world that is born with your blueprint. We are all one of a kind. But you're one of a kind. This world clearly needs. Be proud of it. Every crack and crevice of it. And that song, You're Amazing, that makes sense why that came out in my mind. And that's probably why I got emotional reading you, because the world needs you. And I think sometimes this collective, you forget your power. You forget who you truly are. I'm going to get emotional again. They are patient, prudent change makers. And again, this is why in your contract, your journey was meant to be slow. It was meant to be. So you could believe in your power. So you could truly learn and understand why. Small steps, big accomplishments. You've been on your turtle's journey. And look at the growth you've had through your turtle's journey. And it wasn't just for you. People had to witness this, because that's what makes people believers. You teach people that stupid saying, a leopard can't change its spots. You teach people that a leopard can change its spots, because they've witnessed it. You know how I always say we can't change people's perception through words, it's through action. You are the perfect example. You change people through the sight of your action, because you've never given up. Embrace the slow journey. The slow journey is what made you. The mystic reveals mystery in the great riddle of life. Everything's a riddle. Spirituality, religion, life, everything. But you see that riddle. You understand that riddle. Your observant nature, dancing with the forces of light and dark upon its wings. When you're in light, you're a remover of darkness, because you welcome it. You understand, you grow from it. That's why you remove it, because you overcome it with that elephant energy. You're a visionary. You're ageless. You're like fine wine. When in dark, you expect results too quickly. That's a big thing for you. I think that's one of the main things, to embrace your slow journey. Nothing's, especially this. This cannot come quick. You can't learn this. You can't learn this strength through quickness, overnight success. You can't. You need to experience more downs than ups. Because your downs, look what it creates for you. And the world around you. The people around you. I think that's the biggest message you need from this. Embrace it. Welcome in the slowness. Ask for more. That's very magical. Whenever I tap into energies like this, I feel so like, I love all of my collectives. I say it every time, but I always feel blessed to read energy like this. It warms my heart to know I've got people like you, collective, that can access my energy. I grow from you guys. I learn from readings like this. Truly do. Magical. Anyway, let's get you some charmies. Of course you got you are the golden, Google the golden butterfly. That is you. And your wings turn gold from the dark and light that you carry on your wings. And you got the big golden butterfly. Your perseverance in the heart space. You got my silver heart. So the way you persevere in your heart, that slow journey. The slow journey in the heart space. Look at how you love now. Look at how you see now. Now we just need to work on you seeing yourself more. You've got to realize those cards, I always say as readers, it's your spirit team in us. That's your spirit team showing you that. Not that these words should matter, because your spirit team lives within you. We are all part of one big magical stardust in this world. But it just makes me want to say like that they're so proud of you. But you don't need to hear those words. You need to believe that within yourself. Again, they reside within you. I don't know if you've asked that of them of recent, or you just want to know how they're viewing, like, they are you. You are them. They want you to be proud of you because you feel it in the bottom of your soul. That's why this message is coming up, but you need to believe it. And that's why that part about you strengthening your mind right now, and these cards wouldn't come out if you didn't believe this about yourself. But you need to solidify it about yourself. Remember, I'm not here to tell you how to feel. I'm here to confirm it. These answers are in your soul. Believe in how you see yourself is pretty much what I'm trying to get at. And look at that little perseverance I keep putting on top of that love heart. I've just noticed I've been doing that intuitively. It's taken you a long time to find your wings properly. It's taken a lot of perseverance and pain, especially in your heart space. Look at your sacredness. Crescent moon, that could be important. You could be born on a crescent moon, but you got 2 crescent moons here, so maybe there's something pivotal that will change in your life eventually on this moon phase. Just how connected you are to the moon, but angel aura quartz always around you. I'm noticing how I'm placing these. It's like I'm making a crystal grid, but with charm. Maybe you work with crystal grids, but you got the new moon. That's powerful. Tree of life, fallen angel, here from the start of time. What are they? The cherubs, the protector of the tree. You're turning into a seraphim though. You're finding your 6 wings. Hamza hand, forever protected. You could have a Hamza hand. Intuition, duckies. Maybe you've seen some ducks today, or that's a sign for you. Perfect timing. This has stopped at 10:26, so maybe a clock just stopped for you, or a watch ran out of battery or something. 5-cent piece. Your transformation could have started in 2020, and if you've gone and gotten this far in 5 years, holy moly, that's not slow. You've done that quickly, very quickly. Pearl, of course you're the pearl. Turning into a diamond. You could have just, and I remember I said amethyst, not amethyst. This is a broken amethyst ring, so maybe that's why amethyst would have come to the right collective's mind. You'd have just broken an amethyst ring. You're not meant to wear amethyst right now. I don't know if anyone's like me. I go through phases of crystals. Maybe you've been wearing amethyst for a long time, and it's broken off you. It served its purpose, or you're wanting to switch up some things. I'm hearing you don't need that amethyst right now. Okay, initials. We've got BUHCKP Y, H fell out of the bowl. And again, that H doesn't want to go in the bowl. That was 3 times it went. And then you've got the little love heart. So from the perseverance heart to the gold abundant heart, it'll come. And then it just flicked on the perfect time. When time stops, that just flicked on that. And I never lay my charms out like that. There's a reason I've done that for this collective, and I've noticed it's across. Maybe you've transitioned out of religion too, but everything is timed to the millisecond. That heart was meant to drop on that. That is why it was in that placement. But more for you guys as well. I don't know why I've done that. I've never done that. Oh, and there's a W here as well. Okay. Important dates, birthdays, angel numbers, dates coming up maybe. 111 in, oh my God, you've got 4 1s. So 1111. It's in the shape of a J. And then you've got 12th of the 8th, 8th of the 12th. So 1111. Your destiny is unfolding. Sorry, that was a bit. Then you've got 4, 4, and 6, 6, 6, 4, 4, and then 10 here, 12 here. So 4th of the 10th, 10th of the 12th. It's the 1010 portal today here in Australia as well. But 64, my favourite angel number. I believe 64 is our creator's number. 4th of the 12th, 12th of the 4th. Oh, it's a 6, but it's in the... like in 9 and 69, good and bad karma. I find the angel number 69. It reminds me a lot of the Wheel of Fortune, and 20, divine number. Anyway, I love you guys. I really enjoyed that reading. Have a good